You know, when you jump into old school RuneScape, the first thing that really hits you is just the sheer freedom, right? You can be a fisherman, a lumberjack, a legendary dragon slayer, or a master of every quest in the game. The entire world is your oyster. So with all that choice, why on earth would anyone look at this massive, sprawling world and just decide to lock themselves out of like 80% of it on purpose? We're talking intentionally, severely, and permanently. It sounds crazy, right? So what's the deal?
Well, it all comes down to this. The answer? It's simple, and it's absolutely brutal. They trade all that freedom, all that content, for one single razor-sharp goal: becoming the most dominant, ruthlessly efficient killing machines you can possibly imagine in player versus player combat. Okay, so this whole strategy, this whole mindset, it's built on what's known as the glass cannon philosophy. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You have this immense, overwhelming power, but you've got a fatal flaw. You're incredibly, incredibly fragile. So let's meet our star player, the Combat Pure. The core idea here, it's all about gaming the system. See, by never, and I mean ever, training their defense skill, keeping it at level 1, they keep their overall combat level super, super low. But all those experience points, they get poured straight into raw, overwhelming power. And I mean, just look at the difference here. The trade-off is absolutely massive. Your typical main account, that's your jack of all trades, right? They're built to be versatile. But a Pure, they are a master of one thing, and one thing only: hitting as hard and as fast as humanly possible. They literally sacrifice the ability to take a punch for the power to land that one perfect knockout blow. So how do you even build one of these things? Let me tell you, this is not a casual decision. It's an incredibly meticulous, calculated process that starts from the literal second you create your character. Okay, get this. Before a Pure player even thinks about killing their first monster for XP, they've already got a detailed roadmap laid out. They're not grinding levels one by one. No way. They use very specific quests, think Waterfall Quest, Fight Arena, to get these huge, basically free chunks of attack and strength XP. This lets them skip the entire early grind and jump right to using powerful weapons. But, and this is a huge but, one wrong move, one wrong quest reward, and the whole account is toast. Done. The whole journey is built around hitting these massive milestones. Hitting 50 attack, boom, you unlock the Granite Maul, which is legendary for its insane surprise burst damage. Then you've got 60 attack. That's kind of the gold standard. It opens up all the powerful dragon weapons. And then 75 attack. That's the end game for a lot of Pures. You get access to actual god swords that can end a fight with a single, absolutely spectacular hit. So yeah, you can see this is really a playstyle for the theorists, for the number crunchers. It's just as much about spreadsheets and calculators as it is about quick reflexes in a fight. Every single level is planned out, every piece of gear is optimized. It's all about creating a purely mathematical advantage before you even step into the arena. So you might be thinking, why? Why go through all this trouble, all this planning, all these restrictions you put on yourself? Well, it all comes down to the payoff, that incredible, heart-pounding adrenaline rush of the fight. And this quote from the community it nails it. There is no feeling in OSRS quite like being combat level 65 and hitting a 35 plus on a player who is also combat 65 but has balanced stats. That's the magic right there. It is the ultimate power fantasy. You're both the same level on paper, but because you specialized, you're hitting numbers they could only dream of. It's that moment where all your planning, all your theory crafting just explodes into reality. And the thrill isn't just about those big damage numbers either. It's about being part of this super passionate, dedicated community. It's about mastering a really high skill ceiling. And hey, it's about getting to the most exciting part of the game, the PvP, way, way faster than a normal account ever could. And this is the absolute pinnacle of the Pure experience: clan warfare. We're not talking about simple one-on-one duels here. No, this is about coordinating with dozens, sometimes hundreds, of other glass cannons to unleash just an overwhelming wall of firepower in these massive, chaotic, amazing battles for glory, and of course for loot. But with those incredible highs, there's always a downside. And in this case, it's an equal and often greater amount of intense pressure and straight-up paranoia. This is the other side of the glass cannon coin. I mean, listen to this. The fear of accidentally gaining defense XP is real and can make some activities stressful. There is no forgiveness. The anxiety is just constant.
That one thing that makes the account so strong, the level 1 defense, is also its single greatest weakness. There are no second chances, no do-overs. You know, every community has its taboos, right? Its unbreakable rules. Well, for purists, there is one, a single cardinal sin. The one mistake you can make that you can never, ever come back from. One. That's it. Just one single, accidental level in defense. It could be a simple misclick on the wrong combat style, accepting the wrong quest reward, and just like that, poof. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of hours of work, gone, permanently undone. The account is, for all intents and purposes, ruined. And that constant paranoia, that's really just the beginning of the problems. You're locked out of most of the game's best content. All those cool high-level bosses and quests, not for you. And you have to live with the fact that, yeah, you can one-shot people, but they can one-shot you right back. The training gets super repetitive, and don't even get me started on the financial roller coaster. High-risk PvP means you can lose your entire bank in an instant. Okay, so when you weigh all this out, the incredible highs against those absolutely crushing lows, you have to ask, who is this actually for? It's pretty clear this is a very, very specific kind of fun. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. I mean, is this for you? Well, if you're a die-hard competitor who lives for PvP, if you're a theorist who just loves optimizing builds, or you're one of those people who enjoys a good self-imposed challenge, then yeah, this is a dream come true. But if you're a completionist who needs to see every bit of content, if you hate taking risks and losing your stuff, or you just want to grind bosses, this playstyle would feel like a prison. Simple as that. Which kind of leaves us with this one big question, right? The whole story of the RuneScape Pure, it isn't really just about a video game. It's about this fascinating idea of how we find meaning. Maybe it's not always in having infinite choice, but in the creativity and the mastery that can only come from putting deliberate limits on ourselves. So I'll leave you with this. What do you think is more valuable? The freedom to do absolutely anything, or the discipline it takes to become the absolute best at just one thing?